You weird son of a bitch.
And with that, we are recording. Thank you, Josh, for giving us a great intro. Welcome to the MegaMonsterCast, where today we're going to cover the second episode of Ultraman Orb. Last time we talked, Josh was not into it at all, and Alex enjoyed it thoroughly.
I loved it. Loved it. I also want to make it just a slight note that if we're going to do a last time on the Mega Monster Cast, that we should do at least service to the last time.
Yep. All right.
You gotta do the voice a
little I'll lean into it. Last time on the Mega Monster Cast. Yep.
Yes.
He did the thing.
Yep.
He did the thing. I love it. All right. Yeah. So I don't know, Josh. You got any updates to your wrong opinion?
I mean, it's okay.
You jerk.
Yeah. So last time we saw Orb, he had kind of been like, he came into town. He was all frozen, just in a refrigerator truck.
Okay, wait. That was not Orb. That was Guy.
Yeah, sure. They are separate, sure.
Wait. Up to this point, I've been assured that Ultraman and the host are separate entities.
Not this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like I have further questions, but we might get to them later.
Yeah. No, so like Ultras usually work one of three ways. Either you're the host of like some other being who takes over.
Okay.
You work with the whatever force inside of you, so you are in tandem controlling, kind of like Pacific Rimming. Or you just have some sort of internal power that transforms you into the Ultra. We are dealing with...
Yeah, okay, so which one is this?
We're dealing with the third case. Guy is Ultraman Orb.
Okay, where was Rising on this scale?
Rising is...
the middle tier? Like, it was a symbiotic king? Because, like, honestly, the way you kind of laid it out, it feels like it's a balance between the host or Ultraman in, like, whether it's... And in the middle is kind of a symbiosis where they're kind of...
Yeah. Difficult to say. I think when we get a sequel to that, we'll find out for sure. Right now,
it lays now.
It's somewhere between... It's either 2 or 3. It leads me to believe 3 based on that movie, but with that like ending part, it sets up the possibility that it's 2 instead.
I kind of felt like our protagonist was in control in both forms. Like it felt like it was more of a power inside him.
Yeah. See, that's why I'm saying it's 3, where he just turns into the Ultra, but like there's enough of a setup with them dropping M78 that it could be that like he has an Ultra in him. It's just the Ultra's giving him full control.
Yeah, might have to come to that.
Yeah, again, we'll have to see. But anyway, let's get started with our episode of Orb. So this episode starts with... Oh, wrong one. There we are. This episode starts with Jeddah talking to his camera. He is our like social media guy for the SSP. And he's making a diary to himself talking about that they ran into Ultraman Orb and he plans on finding out who Orb is sometime.
You saw that as a diary to himself?
Well, I mean, I think it's like a vlog. He's just
I saw it more of like we're gonna increase engagement.
Yep. I think it's a vlog, but he's setting up the way he's speaking to the vlog like it's to himself in the future.
Okay.
Because he talks about like you're gonna be rich in X, Y, and Z. You're gonna have all these babes.
All right.
Yep. And then
it's about drive. It's about power.
Yep. But yeah, then we get Naomi coming in with for some reason, just everybody's laundry, and she trips over Shin.
Which is my favorite part of this episode because she trips backwards and falls forward.
Yep. Which means she had to have done like the huge wobble.
Yeah, she either did the whole and then fall forward or did a full on like gainer.
Yep.
Which I'm here for as well.
Oh yeah. No matter what, we were blessed with this.
It was great.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the the slapstick with the humans is good time.
Oh yeah.
Good time.
Oh yeah. I also love.
Also, Nick, do you want to put your camera up a little bit more? You're cutting your forehead off.
Yeah, I know it's in an awkward place. I'm just gonna lean back a little. Lounging.
Yeah,
it's a casual
now's the sexy
MonsterCast.
part.
Yeah.
With my orb.
Dun, dun, dun.
My
Oh,
orb.
God, rub your orb.
Yep. No.
Don't you mean your O-sphere?
Yeah. I know. It's unfortunately just his action figure box. But yeah, we get orb.
In fact, you said
There we go.
That's a little better.
That's better.
Yeah, we get when Shin wakes up. I like that he's just sleeping on the floor too.
And he makes the most like computer scientist I'm working on my grad degree shit.
Yep.
Say he's like, I find that I need less sleep when I sleep on the floor, and then my back and neck hurt. And he like gets frozen in like a cramp mode.
Yep.
I feel the he gets stuck part.
Yeah.
Yep. No, but
you're not really supposed to sleep on the ground. It's fine.
Oh no, it's fantastic. Like Shin stands out in everything he does, which we'll get another great thing about Shin later.
I'm almost disappointed that he wears khakis because they seem a little too domestic.
That's fair.
Like if his pants were denim red or like denim purple or something off the or patchwork like his shirt is, but a different patchwork that didn't match. Like they're fully leaning into like the psycho nerd trope here, which, you know, if you're gonna play with it, let's do it.
Yep.
And I love it because, like, again, in this episode, we get another like science jargon bit that makes no fucking sense.
Oh yeah,
it makes perfect sense if you don't think about it.
No, none of it makes any sense. It is insane. The thing he's just like, yeah, x minus 1 equals y.
Yep.
Kind of shit. Like, it does if you say it does.
Yeah, that's how math works.
It's just fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I am constantly always looking at what Shin says and what Shin does. He's my favorite.
Oh yeah, he's a blast. He is fantastic.
He's a blast.
He is
the whole like he is comic relief for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
all
I
of them
remember
are.
what it was in this episode. It's the fact that he's like, I can track seismic
using FM waves.
Using FM radio waves. No, you can't.
Yep.
No, you can't.
I wrote that down too. That's in my notes too.
Have you tried?
Yes, not specifically fucking seismic waves, but I've studied FM waves in my first degree. Like, give me a break.
Yep.
It's total MacGuffin level. So like
yeah, no,
it's
like
almost one of those things where you don't want him to explain as much. You want it to be like a soft magic system, and they're kind of explaining too much.
Yep. No, I love it that he because it's soft magic, but he feels like he needs to explain it.
Yeah.
Like everyone else is like, okay, it works, and he's like, no, but you need to know why it works.
No, but and like he even gives that same line later in the episode where he's like, as a high schooler, I discovered an uncertainty principle. Like it's not the that principle, but like he gives that same line he gave in the first episode where he's like, here's my accolade from when I was a kid.
Which you kind of get the impression like that's the only thing he's really done with his life too.
Yeah, maybe.
Like it's like that, and then he gets this job.
Is now.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's that, and then he just started he kept hanging out with his friends the entire time after he did something important.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, I did this once. I get to just kind of rest on my laurels for the rest of my life.
I'm a super genius at birth, therefore I don't need to do anything else.
Yep.
I'm a super genius.
How do we like that Naomi has to do their laundry?
I think I was more upset. To answer the question before I move on, not great. But I think I was more disturbed by the fact that the guys were like, "Where the fuck are you going?" And she's like, "I gotta pay rent. I gotta go get a real job. I gotta do things." Like it was, like, especially from an American perspective, we have a history of there being a struggle to let women be in the workforce. This feels like wrapping all the way back around, and now you're the only one who works in the workforce. All the men are like, "Fuck are you doing? Working? Isn't it more important that we are the Something Somewhere podcast?"
Yes.
I know it's something.
It's the something search people.
Something
search people.
Yeah,
exactly. But like, was I that far off?
You were
No,
pretty
I wasn't.
close. You were pretty close.
Exactly. Yeah. But like that whole moment where she's like, "Well, then I'm gonna go work. See you guys." And then she's got like this shitty, like, she could be flipping signs on the street, and that would be like more.
She has to
more meaningful.
She has to dress up as a maid to pass out flyers for a cafe.
It's on cafe. The same.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she doesn't even get to be like a maid inside. She's just the one they send outside to give people flyers.
Which is kind of crazy, right?
Yep. God, no, it's great.
So I thought, honestly, like, I was sitting there, again, back to your question, I was sitting there going like, yeah, the woman doing the laundry trope is not one. Wait a minute, she's the only one who works? Like, it just progressed. Like, my entire attitude before I was able to like fully get irritated by the laundry scene.
It got worse.
I immediately, like, it immediately switched to whole like, you're working like a woman. You're like,
they don't even give her a good maid outfit.
Yeah.
It was fine.
It was not even a cat girl maid.
Okay.
Yep, that's how you know you've made it big, when you get the years.
Just don't go down to a downtown Dallas with that. Apparently.
Yeah. All right, so we get our first scene with Guy, where he's talking about how the town has changed, and you used to like see the sunset behind buildings. Based on that, we're gonna keep playing a game I'm enjoying. How old do you think Guy Kurenai is?
Okay, because that's like him commenting on the skyline of this region, right?
Yep.
1 million.
I mean, okay, so what does he present as? It looks like he's early 20s.
I would say probably mid-20s. He's supposed
mid-20s.
You're supposed to like, presenting wise, he's supposed to look older than the SSP, and I view them as like maybe 20, 21.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I think he's supposed to present as like 25 to 27.
But do all Ultramen exist on a continuum?
Are you talking about, do they all age the same way?
No, maybe not. Maybe not specifically. Do they all age the same way? Maybe more like. It seems like Orb is specifically almost a non-entity, because every time Orb is summoned, he's like, okay, so which Pokemon am I going to fuse?
Yep.
There's
a point where I will explain more about that. Like, there's a big point. I think it's like episode 16, I want to say. So we're a ways off from that. But
we're gonna get there.
I mean, so I can say this because there's a little bit thrown at it. What he's doing right now is he's basically using these cards to help him connect to the light, his source of power. And
that must be a callback to the Light Warrior we saw in episode 1.
Yeah. That is, I mean, if you go back and look, it's clearly Orb's silhouette.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that is what he's using the cards for is to connect to the light. And he needs to use 2 to get a full connection, basically.
But
So he's lost connection.
But
like, why does it need to be through the other Ultraman entities?
So this is like edging onto the spoilery territory. Something happened, and because of that something, he lost his original connection to the light. So he's using these cards to help him connect to it still.
But not all Ultramen connect to the light.
No, so I mean, I can tell you this because it's not a big deal.
Okay.
So the Ultras that you've seen a couple of them from M78, one that was like an ancient Ultra, and then Blazar, who I told Josh, which by the way, you're gonna love this too because it's 100%. Josh loved this. So Blazar comes from Galaxy 421. 421 Blazar.
Blazar.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I'd been sitting on that for a while, waiting to give that one to Josh. But yeah, no. This is Orb's powers are derived from O50, which works a little different than theirs. So
they're not all from the same home planet.
No.
Galaxy.
No. The ones that you've seen, most of them are from M78. This is the first one that they've established from O50, which O50 is supposed to be Orb, and 50 is because it was a reference to the 50th anniversary of Ultraman. This show took place the 50th anniversary.
Wow.
The 50th anniversary for Ultraman and the 20th anniversary for Tiga. That's why his powers are based off of Ultraman and Ultraman Tiga.
Is that always the case?
No, not really.
He's getting a collection of cards, so I feel like they're setting it up to give him like, I'm gonna summon an extra. Oh, we're going into this Ultraman's arsenal.
That's the next episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he
I'm
gets
already ahead of myself.
He gets form changes based off of the cards he uses.
Oh, which other one was the
Tiga?
It was the second one, Tiga.
Yep.
Tiga had the form. Okay, so this is all very apropos.
Yeah.
Okay. Very, very good. Is this the same, like, not showrunners, but
I don't think so.
Is this somehow like production wise related to Tiga?
Well,
then?
Not exactly. Again, it's just supposed to kind of be like, again, it's the 20th anniversary, so it's a nod to it.
50th, right?
50th for the original, 20th for Tiga.
For Tiga. Oh,
yeah.
Wow. They're really hedged in on this one. This is great.
Oh yeah, no, this is like a big anniversary season for them, so you're going to see like a lot of care taken on certain things.
I dig it, and so far this has been one of my favorite series, at least series openers.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a strong one. Like as we get a little further in, it dips. It feels a little more comfortable getting into the drama, which it starts with this episode with Juggler, who gets his official. If you paid attention to the subs, you know that his name's Juggler now. So I only spoiled it by one episode. But yeah.
He's like,
not much of a spoiler.
Yeah.
It's.
But getting back to it, so Josh said 1,000,000 years old. How old do you think he is? And you don't have to get like a specific like year, but like based off of what he said, how long do you think he's been around on Earth?
Oh, okay. So that's a complete. I was literally like, as you were talking, I was going like, well, time dilation is a thing, and he's been through space. He could have done stasis. I was like going through all these things like that could have excused away like him being millions of years old.
Yeah,
but him being on Earth.
Well, he specifically talks about like what the town used to look like, and we had that scene at in the first episode, the cold open, that seems to have taken place. Not sure how long ago. You said the clothing is like modern enough that it probably wasn't too long ago, but like
it felt semi-modern, at least from my observation. But it could have very easily been like a garb that I wasn't aware is actually that old. I would say at least back to like 3,000-4,000 years, if we're gonna like make this real high fantasy.
Okay.
I guess I would say like we're kind of edging on the idea of like the dynasties.
Okay. I'm not going to confirm anything yet.
I have literally no clue. So I guess that's my thought is it's either he's relatively recent, but like maybe only a few hundred years old, or it's several thousand.
Okay. I'm not going to confirm anything yet, but your thought process on a bunch of this stuff is good.
Cool.
I think he was around and was fighting dinosaurs for fun.
I mean, we're going to get that for sure this season.
We get dinosaurs?
I don't know.
I mean, what is a kaiju but a dinosaur?
And not all kaiju are dinosaur. Some
Just
of them are humanoid. They're boring.
Just wait until we get
kaijus are lizards.
Just wait until we get dinosaur tank.
They might be doggos.
Just wait until we get dinosaur tank.
What?
Yeah.
That sounds lame.
It's a tank.
Like,
it's a tank, and the top part is a dinosaur.
It doesn't have to be. Come on.
That's a real thing that exists. Awesome. Anyway, so
here's the deal. Like, one of the reasons why I love being on this podcast is because I like the giant fucking lizard kaiju. Okay, give me more lizards.
Yeah,
well,
you get
that one's half
tank.
Lizard. Yeah, he's half lizard, half tank. You know,
and half chainsaw.
Dude, I mean, pretty soon, yeah. But no, so I also love that Guy. Like, there's this little moment that they call back to at the end of the episode where Guy fizzes up the kid's drink by accident.
Okay, so one of our for here's a little inside baseball for the viewers. One of our mutual friends, Scott, is actually the person who taught me how to introduced me to this kind of soda, and then taught me how to use it back when I was living up there. This was such a cool little callback for me. I was sitting there going like, I know how to use this.
You just pop the marble in really, really hard.
I mean, you can. You just gotta commit.
Yep.
Yeah, you do. You just stick it in real fast.
Yep.
This is really cool. I forget what the name of.
I think it's Ramune. I think it's Ramune. Yep.
Yeah, I think I Americanized it and called it like Ramune, but yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if I want ramenaise.
Actually, that sounds ramen mayonnaise. Ramen with mayonnaise sounds really good, actually.
Wow, I think that might have been the most white American thing that you could have said. And
no, first of all, no, because I get Kewpie mayo.
Girl, he does.
Yeah, I love me some Kewpie mayo.
Kewpie mayo?
It's Japanese mayo.
It's really fucking good.
They only use the yolks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever tried that. I'd be so down. At this point, I'm just like thinking, the American default is like, yeah, I put Miracle Whip in my ramen.
Cheese and ramen. Now that's fucking phenomenal.
I've done that once. That was okay.
I'll stick with my egg drop. It's fine.
Anyway, we get this sinkhole moment where in the background, there's this flash of red light, and then the buildings start to sink. The ones that Guy had just been talking about.
I feel like it didn't have as much of a payoff as I wanted.
Yeah, I think it gets some good play with when eventually Naomi gets involved with that, but it takes a while.
Yeah.
Also
like they set it up as like it looks like it's on a tectonic fault.
Mm-hmm.
So my first thought was, Pacific Rim. Like,
no.
We're gonna get kaiju coming out of the rift, right?
No, instead we get ley lines.
Yeah.
And my enthusiasm decreases immediately.
Yep. But no.
What was it? Ley lines. Those are literally like a pattern-seeking species, seeking patterns that do not exist.
Yep.
Like we found a pattern. It's not actually there. Ley lines aren't a thing.
But they are here.
Yeah. Okay. This is fun though.
So there's like a bunch of like harebrained schemes on like, oh, what's causing these to fall down? Is it fucking people destroying stuff? Is it an attack from the underground? And
we get that line from Shin. He's like, "Ooh, from the underground sounds good." Like,
yeah, I love.
He's all like, "I smell a challenge."
I love Shin. He's such a fucking weird character, but he's so much fun.
So is it just me, or did you guys? I don't think I mentioned it in the first episode, but like the first episode gave me huge like IT crowd vibes in that office.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where it's like he's clearly like, to whom it may concern.
Oh yeah, no, he's that guy.
Fire. You know?
Yeah, no, he's totally that type of guy. He's a little more over the top than that, but like, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, that's a really solid one. We also find out Guy is using his Ultra Sense to try to figure out what's going on. I made up that word right now, but now it's canon.
I actually thought you didn't, so I was totally gonna buy into it. I'm like, oh, that's what's Ultra Sense. Yeah, you know what? I saw the Ultra Sense too, Nick. You know what? I'm in. Yeah.
Yep.
I was about to question you and be like, I don't remember them once saying Ultra Sense.
Okay, but it sounds right though.
I know, and I don't like it.
And then we get a peek at our kaiju for the episode, Maga Grand King, which just sounds like a white supremacist's dream.
All it had to have been was Grand Wizard, and it would have been over.
Oh yeah. Stop the episode, immediately call you guys.
Okay, yeah, exactly. I'm just like, hi Nick. He's like, no, we can't do this one.
Yeah. No, it would have been instead, no, we have to do this one live. We have to do it live.
Like, have you seen this one yet? No, I haven't. Like, okay.
Good.
We're going live.
That's what we're doing
Special
for the
guest star.
Yep.
If this is episode 2, I am ready for the remainder. Let's go.
Yep. But
this is gonna be a long running joke, I imagine.
Dude, there's going to be a lot of manga jokes throughout this. Let's just say that.
I'm gonna have to start writing some actual jokes for these. This is gonna be a thing.
So we get more sinkholes. Shin figures out initially that they're using fault lines. Of course, we already talked about that it's ley lines. That's when he uses that FM thing, which he took a fucking boom box and just strapped it to his phone.
Literally, he pulls out the boom box, sets it down, and our other buddy from the SSP goes, "Isn't it the boom box I lent you?" I was like, okay.
No.
Like I was in the middle of writing a note in my notes here, going like, "That's a fucking boom box," and then they point out that it's a boom box. Like, okay, delete.
Yep. No, then we get the different joke of how Jed is like, dude, that was my dad. He's gonna be really pissed off about this.
They're very self-aware.
Yep.
It's very much a boombox from not 2016.
Yep.
It's a cassette deck. It's got a dual cassette deck, so it's meant to do recordings. Like,
yep.
This is some nice old tech. Yeah, I'd be pissed too.
Yeah, no, I can see why his dad would be super angry to see that it was converted.
What with it?
You made it into a thing that explores.
What does it detect? What does it detect?
Doesn't even work now.
Yeah.
It detects FM signals? Do you mean what a radio does?
And you're using it to what?
To really?
God, again, like everything the SSP does is like played for comedy so well.
It is.
But then
I really
we
want their name is so stupid, but I want them to be. I want it to be extra stupid, like the something somewhere people, or
Yep.
like.
No, Dad, I swear I'm using it for porn.
Yep.
When that becomes the better excuse.
So we also get our
Carry on.
first scene of Juggler today, where
Yeah.
Juggler's doing his evil thing. He's putting cards inside of the ring, the O, and yep, and sending them down. We get name drops of a couple of Showa kaiju in this one, where he's just sending their energy down to try to like break the ley line. And then we get a fight between.
We get the harmonica scene though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, where he walks up playing his song, and it's like,
oh fuck,
God damn it, this again. I fucking hate this song. Like Juggler just hates on it so much in that moment.
Honestly, the way that the two of them stare each other down, I feel like the actor who plays our protagonist could have played the antagonist here. He's just like,
Yeah.
very just like the squinty-eyed stoicism, like,
Fun.
I will end you. It's very antagonistic.
Fun fact: he is a villain in a Kamen Rider movie.
Is he a spider? You have to tell me if he is. It's like being a cop.
I don't think so, but I'll double check on that.
He's a bat.
I'm not
He's very clearly a
sure.
bat.
But yeah,
I literally have in my notes here later that I was planning on making the antagonist isn't a spider.
Yeah.
Weird.
yeah. No.
Yeah, I don't like it.
You haven't seen Kamen Rider, my friend.
Yes, there's so many spiders. But no, we get the usage of that. Like they use the boom box to try to uncover what building is going to sink next, and they go to this building. Yep, they go to it. They get it wrong, and Jetta's like, "Dude, your shit never works. Every time you make something, it's just junk." And Shin's like, "Well, it's not junk."
Bad.
I mean, to be fair, all that we're missing is like a Lego piece that doesn't belong, and that's all of his inventions are just like this whole like, yeah, I strapped a weather vane to a generator and a battery.
Yep.
It's like the contraptions he comes up with are just, I love Shin.
Yep. No, Shin's great. No, so we get that moment, and we get to see Naomi working her job passing out the flyers.
Okay, I'm just gonna point this out. I know that this is played up for the bit, but I've never been to New York, but I'm not sure that you'd ever see someone like a street vendor ever get their ass run over like she gets run over.
No, because those son of bitches are
like,
mean.
Like that is intense. Like the amount of like, oh yeah, no, would you like to see our cafe? Just like shoulder check, full on frontal tackle. Like she gets rocked in this scene.
See, I get the impression it's just her. Like with the way she fell.
She's walking into it like
Yeah, like the way she fell earlier, like this is just like to establish that she is going to be like physically knocked down all the time.
I mean, I literally have in my notes that she spends at least 3 minutes of this episode trying to stand up.
Yep.
Fuck.
Oh god, yeah, no, it's again like I love the SSP. Like they're always played for laughs in this really good way, and then like you get some serious moments every now and then. You're like, oh yeah, you guys can actually act, and then it's back to comic relief.
Yeah.
Like, you're people.
And they're not. They're good additions to this show, whereas they could easily have been okay, I don't care. Like so often we come across kaiju properties that the human story is so uninteresting. I actually do like spending time with our protagonists here. You know, the human characters in this show are at least entertaining, to say
Oh
the
yeah.
very least.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the two Ultraman shows that we're reviewing have great human characters.
Yep.
You can't say that for a lot of kaiju properties. You know, I think that
You can't say that about a lot of properties.
Honestly, yeah. Unless it's like,
yeah, if it's not if the focus is not, you know, you go to what kind of movie is this? It's a kaiju movie. Okay, do we have to have humans? No, smash robots together. But we're gonna have a narrative and a story and actors. So, you know, it's not a given. It's not a given that we give a shit.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we find out after doing some research that there's this great Earth Demon King that's sealed under the city, and it was sealed away by
King Demon Beast of Earth.
Yes, and it was sealed away by a great red-horned giant. Great red-horned giant.
Do we get the answer to the red horn? Is that a call to the Ultraman that sealed him away?
Yeah, it's Taro.
Oh, okay. Okay, because I haven't actually seen Taro other than like the
action figure.
Oh, look, it's Taro.
Oh, you saw Taro as an action figure too.
Oh no, Taro was in Ginga, wasn't
it? Yeah.
Ah, okay. See, like if I had seen Taro before Ginga, it would have been almost a dead giveaway that Taro's action figure isn't going to work here.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
I still want to get big sometimes.
So then we get a scene where Naomi sees Juggler walking around, and she decides to follow him. And this is where we get like our tension in a weird way.
Following the big bad guy never ends well.
Yeah. So
but like in the scene where we get the harmonica bit, we get the whole Juggler and our protagonist know each other, and they've known each other for a while. They kind of have this like, they have enough of a rivalry that is. I think the fact that they can stand next to each other and kind of like not be on the ready, like drop your weapon, you drop your weapon, means that they've kind of had this interaction enough times throughout history that they know that this interaction isn't going to be the moment where they have to kill each other. This is a exposition moment for them, for lack of better words.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like
I think that also establishes how old the rivalry is here.
Oh yeah.
Well, I feel like they were once friends. I feel like they're going to go down that trope.
Yeah, and see, like that is a very good, obvious avenue. I think that they would go down as well. But back to the scene that we're in, we get her getting captured or
kind of touched in a weird way.
Yeah, the most uncomfortable scene in the entire series, I think.
Yeah, and when Juggler's talking to her about romance.
I don't like that he's talking about romance, first off. And then, honestly, I'll be completely honest, especially as having done Foley professionally in my life, I really hated the sound design here. I thought it was so uncomfortable and so inappropriate to have like the rubber stretching sound, like the restraint sound. I thought that was super not cool. I would not have put that in there unless we were trying as a production, unless the production wanted the scene to seem like non-consensual. I would not have put that like binding sound. Like basically the sound that they put in there is the sound of like stretched rubber, and then you like rub your thumb against it and it makes that like popping sound. Like it gives you that sound of like restraints being strained upon.
Yep.
I thought this was completely inappropriate, just from my own perspective.
That's fair.
Not that it was wrong per se. I would not have made this decision. It makes it seem extra rapey.
That's fair. And it is supposed to be like uncomfortable. I will admit, probably a little too far, but like no matter what, you're supposed to know this is like an uncomfortable scene. Like she's.
I think you could leave that up to the actress in this moment.
Mhm.
She really makes it clear that she's uncomfortable and
Yeah.
this is not consensual. I don't think we needed the whole and we get the whole like choking motif from our antagonist. Like you already sold me on it. I didn't need the restraint sounds that weren't there.
Yeah.
If she was wearing restraints, have the sound design. The metaphorical sound design was not a choice I would have made. Not saying it's wrong, just not one I would have made as a.
No, I get you.
Is the restraints.
Sure, I just don't think the sound design was necessary to convey the meaning. I think it was a little over the top.
That's fair. I do have the line he says, "Romance is full of contradictions. The greater the mystery, the greater the danger. The stronger the attraction. The deeper the hooks sink in. A bit like the world itself." Like,
Yikes.
super uncomfortable, right?
Super yikes. I didn't. What was the second line?
So I'm just going to read it in full again because it doesn't break it up. Romance is full of contradictions. The greater the mystery, the greater the danger.
I don't like that.
Yep.
That's okay.
Then it's immediately
he twirls her hair too.
Yeah, he twirls her hair while he's saying it.
Like he has
he's
like
playing
his
with
hands intertwined with her hair and
Yep.
super well done on making the creepy vibes. The whole scene is set up that way, but at this point I'm just like, dude, I don't know if I like just this being a part of my media all the time. This is so annoying. Really.
Well, if you didn't know he was the bad guy, you do now.
Oh yeah, no,
they
leaned into it.
Like I'm much more interested in the sympathetic antagonist, and this was alienating, completely alienating for me. Like, you don't do this, man. This is weird. This whole confluence of romance and danger and the world and nihilism. Like, you okay, man?
The world is a vampire.
You get a lot of more.
Okay,
you get more stuff about Juggler as the show goes on to explain why he is like this, because they give him backstory.
Yeah, I hope so, and I'm interested to learn more because he's like the king of non sequiturs. I swear to God, he'll just, the sky is blue. I saw a flower today. Like, that was even more apropos than what he said. Like, give like any one of his lines could have been delivered after any line that was given today. Like, oh yes, form of Ultraman Taiga. Romance is death. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, so Guy shows up.
Exactly what he's talking about.
So Guy shows up and he saves Naomi, but Juggler uses the second card. He needs to use 2 cards to destroy the ley line, and he manages to get the second card off. So the ley line's been destroyed. The building sinks. Guy manages to save Naomi, and he transforms into Orb, and the fight begins.
To your question earlier, though, she does ask them, like, what are you? Which kind of implies that they're much older than they're made out to be. So we kind of further the mystery of the rivalry between the two of them.
I think that line also points out, like, so she might have thought that, like, Guy was just kind of like a quirky dude who's like a wanderer. Like, knowing, like, having interacted more with Juggler at this point and knowing those two have a connection, it's definitely okay, so what's going on here?
Definitely.
Yeah,
then we get our fight. Some points I wanted to bring up about this fight that I really like. I like anytime he attacks, he's using, like, the red parts on his suit glow, and anytime he's, like, dodging or evading, the purple suit parts glow. I just thought that was, like, a nice little neat visual cue.
It was.
Yeah, I think the visuals in this whole series are pretty good.
We also get that nothing he's doing is remotely harming Maga Great King, the monster. What do you guys...
That flying knee he did just, like, bounced right off.
Yeah. What do you guys think about this one's design? This is our first mechanical kaiju in this one.
He kind of looked like industrial equipment, which it kind of took me out a little bit. Like the fact that he's like on his right hand, he's got what is clearly a set of pliers with teeth.
Yep.
Loved it.
It's cool and all that, but like
I dig his design up to the point of just like the jowl things that pop out. That's the only thing I didn't like.
Jowl things? Oh yeah. I think if I was gonna have a preference, I'd have him be less derived from human things.
We'll get something else later in the show that's more like that. It's another mechanical kaiju, but it's a little sleeker and a little less industrial. In fact, you guys have seen it.
That, yeah.
You guys have seen him.
Have we?
Yeah, Galactron, the one that I keep fucking.
No! We're just gonna keep this Galactron thing going.
I have to own it, and this is the show where he's in.
Well, a matter of time.
Yep.
Too bad we're gonna refer him to as the wrong name.
Yep. I'm gonna call him Giganta.
Yeah, you'll mess it up in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting in this battle that Ultraman seems far less concerned with collateral damage than we've seen Ultraman before.
Just holes being blown everywhere.
Yeah, he's like, I dodged. Did you dodge? I dodged.
Yep.
And then he like goes, oh, that's reflective. Mine.
No, he makes his own. He doesn't pull the building.
It seems he just doesn't have the protector of humanity vibe that I thought he would.
Yeah, Orb is more about defeating the kaiju than he is protecting the buildings. Like, he would protect people. Like, if he sees people on the street, he's not going to protect. Like,
and
he's not going to.
That before, yeah.
Yeah, like he's not going to stop a building from being destroyed because he doesn't give a shit about that. And in fact, let's be real, based on what he says, he kind of doesn't like the buildings.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, I want the old skyline back.
Yep.
But instead, he turns this town into Swiss cheese.
Which, how do you?
Literally, the holes are circular.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you like the fact that like he's just blasting these circular holes in buildings, and like the only one that falls over is the one that's gonna fall over and crush Naomi.
I was gonna say, he never, like, the circle never crosses over to the edge of the building where there's not a support beam on the four corners. It's always like straight dead on into a building.
Yep.
It's very much Kung Pao into the fish. It's just the whole like circular portion of the chest comes out like, holy crap, man!
Yep.
Paralyzer.
Another paralyzer.
This is the second day in a row we've talked about that movie for audiences listening.
It gets talked about a lot between us.
We
I was
literally
gonna say, between Josh and me, I don't know if we're ever gonna get through an episode without it.
Dude, I'm fine with that. I just love that like it came up during our Kaiju number 8 recording, and it came up during this too.
We can find a way to relate basically any property back.
That is
to
technically that does fall into a Kaiju movie.
All right,
you mean because they're French?
That too.
No, yeah. The second movie that we didn't get to see is a Kaiju movie.
Yeah, but we get a preview, so it counts.
Yeah. This is like the God Awful Movies crew going like, I don't think this movie has religion, and it goes. That person says, "Oh my God, totally religious movie."
It's religion.
It's religion.
Yep.
I was gonna say we do get kaiju level pyramid space aliens in that movie, but yeah, you know.
And a cow.
True.
That cow could be a kaiju.
That cow is a kaiju.
And then again, the French.
It's sacre bleu.
Yep. So we also get after Orb gingerly grabs the building that's going to crush Naomi and puts it back in place.
I just want to point out that was a really slick transition.
Mm-hmm.
Like from CG to practical effects. that was slick.
Yeah, it looked really good.
Because you could tell a second later that it was clearly a prop that the actor was holding, but I was very impressed. The production quality in this is really high.
Yep.
Really enjoying this.
There's gonna be like some wonky things here and there, but like this is really like a big labor of love thing. Like this was again a huge anniversary show, and they wanted it to be done well.
I mean, and you kind of like if you're gonna make an anniversary of a beloved 50-year product, it's kind of allowed to be campy.
Yep.
You know, I dig when they get campy in this series, but they put it in the right places and they put the production value in really good places so far. I'm just quite happy with it so far.
Yep. So then a little cut to Jedda's recording everything and he's narrating over the recording.
He didn't put the camera forward facing.
I would have loved that if he was like staring into the fucking.
Yeah. It was
yeah. That's when after that Orb gets the whole like he notices the glass, the mirrored glass reflects the beam, so he makes his own mirror shield to reflect Maga Grand King's beam back, which doesn't destroy him, but it makes a hole that Orb can use his Sparian Ray on.
Yeah, he can finally penetrate him.
This brings up my favorite. Yep. This brings up my favorite little effect in the show, where he puffs up a little before he explodes.
This is so Kaiju number 8.
Yep. Yeah. No, Josh, go ahead, because I know you mentioned that when we were talking earlier.
Yeah, this is so Kaiju number 8. Every time he got hit, just bubbled up. Pop.
Yep.
It was so great.
Yeah, no, again, that's probably my favorite effect in this episode is just like him puffing up before he explodes. And then
it's like he gets overcharged with energy and can no longer contain it, and then it explodes.
Yep.
I loved it too. It was great.
Yep. Then Orb flies off and Jeddah thanks him.
Weird. Can I just point out that's such a weird trope for the Ultraman exit?
Mm-hmm.
Like the human host is still like in the photo booth, for example. What is the whole like flying into space thing? Like that's just cool and all, but
it was just so like when they transform
weird,
back.
like the entities like separate at that point.
Not really. They're usually like at least tied together in some way. And for Orb, it's literally
like tied together, sure, but I would have figured that Orb would like go behind a building and do like getting hit by a shell by Mario and like shrink back down.
No, he wants to fly off.
It feels like there would be that extra level of tension to the narrative if you had to like reconnect back, like my color timer is down, I have to find my host or something. Like I don't know. It's very hand wavy. Which is fine. I just wanted to point out it seems kind of strange compared to a lot of other properties that we have.
If it makes you feel better, he doesn't need to find his host. Like that's literally just him, but big.
But we don't get that in Rising. Rising, he literally goes, you know.
Yeah. I think the photo booth thing is supposed to be like he's just going there to hide to transform. And then
building's completely destroyed.
Explode?
Because he becomes light. He becomes light. That's what happens. It's space magic.
Yeah, you're not really thinking this through there, Alex.
If you're from 050,
yeah, no, it's my bad. I'm sorry.
You just need to get to 050. You'll understand it. Spoiler alert.
I've been waiting for my trip to space for a long time, so you know what's a few more years, right?
Yeah. Spoiler alert. That planet looks like shit.
Yeah, it looks like Texas.
The podcast.
Yep. Happened.
There it is.
Yep. But no, we get our Sparian beam explosion thingy. Guy flies off to transform back.
Which is cool. Like I thought this was really neat. The way he like powers up with he makes the sphere. It's just really neat.
Yeah, no, Sparium Ray is like one of the better ones. I do think there's one other one that I like more that comes in a later series, but this one's solid.
That'll be interesting to see because you really set the bar high for a Dragon Ball lover like myself, and I would argue for Josh as well. Like in one of the best films that we've watched so far, that being
Gunhead?
Rising, we get a fuck you. We get a freaking family Kamehameha. Like I don't know how you're gonna top a family Kamehameha.
I mean, there's one that I really, really like, and it's going to be in the next like fully out Ultraman show that we watch. When we get to it, Jeed has like one of the best ones I've seen. It looks so cool.
They literally in the last episode they did a final Kamehameha scene.
Yep.
Which I fucking loved in Blazar.
It was pretty good.
It was so good.
Yep. But no, so I love this next scene though, where like the SSP are thanking Orb, and then they turn and just look at the city, and it just like they just stare for a few seconds.
The fucking holes everywhere.
Yeah, they're kind of like smiling, like,
look at this, we did it. We didn't do shit, but we did it.
Yep, just that moment of oh, that's real bad. Should we have been thanking Orb just now? Because that's that moment.
Kind of a monster.
Yeah, because that's that moment. Like it ties into the thing you were saying, Alex. Like they look over at the city and they realize, like, oh wait, no, this isn't good.
Like, you don't just repair that. That building is condemned now.
No, they're gonna fix it. That's what we see in the next scene.
What happened to the people above those floors? What happened to the people on those floors?
Nah, they evacuated.
Beam.
I'm sorry, Ultraman doesn't burn that hot.
Yeah, no.
Well, of course, that's why he didn't fall.
So then we see Juggler make a new card.
That is right.
Yeah. So Juggler makes a new card.
Can I just go on record as saying I really want to collect these cards?
You can buy them, dude.
No shit.
Yeah,
I think
you can get them on Amazon.
I want the podcast to have a collection of these. This is like, this really was like, I want that. I want that real bad.
Dude, you can buy those cards on Amazon, like right now. They have sets of them you can buy.
They're probably god awful expensive.
They're pretty expensive.
I gotta get a card printer.
But yeah, so
my own road.
Yep. No, so Juggler makes his card. He thanks so the SSP they thanked Orb. I love that Juggler also thanks Orb. He's like, yeah, thanks, as he gets this new power card for himself.
You idiot.
I feel like at this point we're made to believe that Juggler is playing the rest of the cast.
Yeah, it's almost like he's juggling the orbs.
Okay, I'll see myself out.
Yep. So, and we get Guy fixing, like, he purifies the crystal.
I'm so glad he actually says his name instead of me reading it. I would have totally called him Gooey.
Yep. So he purifies the crystal. We see that the buildings are being rebuilt, which is impossible, but yes. And Guy
want it to be real.
Yep. Guy opens the bottle, and this time it doesn't fizz over for the kid.
He's like, oh my god, it worked.
Yep.
He's grown in this episode. This is clear evidence.
Yep.
I don't.
Then the SSP come up to him. Naomi wants to know, like, what Guy's deal is, because he's this fucking weirdo that's just been walking around town, showing up and dealing with the other weirdo.
You're here too often to not be connected. Explain yourself. And
he's just like, there's some things you probably shouldn't know about me. That's all I'm saying. And I'll let you know my name's Guy, and that's it.
He gives her first and family name, too.
Guy Kurenai.
Cool name.
Yep. Honestly, it's
for
a dope
guy.
name. It's such a dope name. But yeah, and that's how the episode ends, and then we get our end credit scene, which I made sure that Alex knew about. Yeah, you don't get to act like that. I told you this time. I made sure that you knew there's one after every episode of this show.
And I acknowledged it, so you can't. I can't pull that shit.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my major character flaw. Is just never sees in credits guy.
Yep. But no, we get our end credit scene, which
as that?
Yes.
Never see it. Like, I'm sure not appears in this film.
But anyway, we get our end credit scene where I like these. They're
like an advertisement.
So it's like it's a info dump.
Looking at the camera, right?
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be like so. A lot of these shows started doing this. It's really good for the anniversary ones, especially I think, where it's just a lore dump. So he gives you like a little lore.
Yeah, no, that's great, especially for like, if you're gonna make this big deal of the anniversary, like you also want to onboard people.
Yeah.
You always want to onboard people, but this has a nostalgia trip to it. But I just want to go on record as saying like, more capes? More?
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Is that a thing we can do? Can we do more capes?
Dude, so I can think of like many Ultramen that wear capes. There's so many that wear capes, and then they whip the cape off when they're about to fight.
See, like that's why you wear a cape. Mm-hmm. Like I'll go back all the way to the Incredibles movie. Like, yes, the cape is cumbersome and not great for combat. It's great for theater.
Yep.
You whip that shit off and be like, yeah, now I'm serious. It's like removing the gi or the weighted
blankets,
training clothing.
Yeah.
The weighted blankets. Thank you.
Just
love this shit.
Oh yeah. No, like I can think of I can think of like 7 or 8 Ultramen that do that, but they usually only do that in like when they are guest stars in other people's shows.
Oh, is that a thing?
Oh yeah, no, I picked one where we didn't like this one. I picked specifically because I thought it was like a good one where we wouldn't have like a bunch of guest stars come on. If I was between this one and Ultraman X for the ones we were gonna watch, and Ultraman X has like a lot of guest stars come through, and I thought that would be like a bad starting point because of it.
Like a bunch of callbacks then?
Yeah, like callbacks and like ultras from previous shows come through, and like it's cool. It's like really rewarding for people who've watched it, but I didn't think it was a good jumping on point.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the wet blanket for the podcast for a long time.
Dude, honestly, that's why I'm having you watch these
womp womp.
These lore dumps, so you're at least like semi familiar with some concepts going forward. That's why I made sure you knew about these.
Yeah, no, this is great. Did I see that cutaway correctly that the uncle joins the SSP?
He's like their supporter kind of. Yeah, like he's like
but he does the whole like Ginyu Force like.
Mm-hmm. He eventually buys into their bullshit. Let's say that. Like eventually he's just like their.
You call it bullshit, but they're totally right though.
Yeah. No, but like he buys into their stuff like 100% by the end of the show. He's just like their 4th member basically. But he's like.
I want a scene where he just walks up to Shin and is just like, "Oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to spit on your face."
Yeah. No, he's also.
I want more scenes of him spitting on Shin.
Just like. Gets real.
This is why Josh and I are friends.
Just gets real fucking personal. Pulls him in like.
Why aren't you paying rent?
You make your woman pay rent.
Yeah. I also love that. So Shin, like each one of them represents like a different thing. Like Jet is like the journalist of the bunch, sort of. Shin is the scientist. Naomi is like the leader. the uncle.
They call her Captain.
Yeah, the uncle is basically no. He's the one with the gun. He's got a gun. That's what makes him special. He's a cop.
See, that's so weird for Americans to grasp. I'm like, oh, you could have a gun too, bro.
Yep. No, he's a cop, so he's the only one that has a gun.
Why do they think that a gun is going to be a good thing?
Sometimes they run into
kaiju.
Sometimes they run into aliens. Sometimes they run into human-sized aliens.
They're enormous. Really?
Yeah.
They're enormous.
Oh, dude,
Not the
sometimes.
human-sized ones.
Yeah, you run into like human-sized shit in this series too.
Oh my god, it's number 9 all over again.
Yep. Except instead, some people with some weird half masks and face paint.
Oh man, are we gonna get like 9 and then like 9.1 and 9.2?
Yep.
Stick around for our Kaiju number 8 podcast.
Yeah. That episode's mostly up. I need to I edited out the part where I doxed myself.
Good. Did you edit the further doxing of me too?
Nope, I left that one in. You were wearing the shirt. I can't do a whole lot about that.
I don't have to point it out to them.
Yeah.
But the part of me doxing myself also left in.
You dox yourself in so many of these episodes. You talk about where you live so often.
Yeah, but they can't find out where.
Declaring that you
you're also moving soon.
Declaring that you live near a major city is not really doxing. Like if you were like, I live at Sunset Boulevard or some shit like that.
Why? No.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna end this episode. This will go
I'm really
up.
looking forward to continuing Orb.
Yep. This will go up with for these episodes, we're doing an episode. We're recording these ahead of time, but this will air along with our review of Ultraman Arc episode 2 when that comes out.
Before we end, real quick, I want to know: it seems like every Ultraman has their own MacGuffin.
Yes.
Is that like collecting the sonic screwdrivers?
Yes, except more so.
Kind of into it. Like I want my Yu-Gi-Oh armband for Orb. I don't know what it's a belt. It's a belt deck.
Yep. And then he's got the ring, or you can get like the fucking.
It's like a handheld. It's like a Wolverine cloth thing.
Yep. You can get the Blazar one where you just put like the little pog inside of the dual disc. You can get the Rube one where it's a gyroscope thing that you keep pulling on that I fucking hate and I don't like that it exists. That's the one that I don't buy into. That's the one I have the biggest problem with.
I want the snubby dagger from Ginga that they're just like, I poke feet.
Yep.
Okay, what the fuck?
There's more than one of those.
Ginga?
There's more than one of those. There's at least 3 that I can think of in that series.
Where they poke feet?
Yes. There are 3 in that show.
Josh, if you haven't seen this, it's a dagger that's 6 inches long, including the handle. And the 3 inches of blade are like the blade comes out so much, and then it's just like this very deep triangle that it still looks kind of like a blade in some sort, and you just tap it.
And then it opens up.
Like literally where you would like on an action figure, where the action figure would have a hole in the bottom of their sole to be placed on a platform, is literally where they touch, and then that's the transformation method to get into Ginga. It's the silliest, most contrived thing, and I am here for it.
I don't like that.
Oh, you're gonna love it. It's hilarious. The writing is up there with Orb, so watch out for Orb and Ginga.
I will say though, I don't like the supporting cast nearly as much in Ginga.
No, I don't think I do either, which is why I think I was really excited about watching Orb.
Yeah, anyway, we can save that for another day. Tune in next time.